ZETA's contribution to the bipartisan infrastructure law and the IRA has been significant. It's very, very important that a group like ZETA was created to represent the EV supply chain and to show the diverse coalition of companies and industries that are really invested in this transition. This mission that ZETA is engaged in goes towards economic development, building EV factories in communities that have traditionally built gas vehicles for decades. It has been a year of progress and a year of proliferation of misinformation about EVs. It's been a very, very busy year for EV policy. Lots of opportunities for us to come in, make our voices heard, try to disentangle some thorny issues that are out there. You may be surprised to hear not everybody's super excited about the wave of EV adoption that we're in the middle of. Sometimes that leads to some misinformation regarding EVs, the EV supply chain, EV safety, etc. There's a group of folks that are really highly motivated to slow this transition down because they haven't quite found the upside for them yet in the EV transition. My name is Albert Gore. I'm the Executive Director at the Zero Emission Transportation Association.
The number one source of emissions in the United States comes from the transportation sector. Everything from big rigs to your commuter vehicle to buses and airplanes are now the largest source of carbon emissions that go into the atmosphere.
ZETA is the first industry-backed coalition of companies supporting 100% zero-emission vehicle sales on a rapid timeline. So the founding goal of ZETA was 100% by 2030. ZETA is comprised of companies across the EV supply chain, from mineral companies, battery recyclers, and EV manufacturers, charging network operators, and then electric utilities. Every step along the way is represented within ZETA, and this is a group of companies that really firmly believes electrification can happen on a much shorter timeline and should, and is dedicated to advocating for policies in support of that. There is a huge bipartisan constituency interested in jobs and investment and economic development, and particularly in their states and their districts. It is always good news to be able to go in and say, we've got X number of companies and jobs in your state and in your district. Policy plays a really important role in clean transportation by centering incentives around manufacturing in the United States or in North America. And specific policies like the bipartisan infrastructure law or the Inflation Reduction Act have done is really to meet existing EV supply chains where they are and try to really accelerate the development that's already underway. ZETA's contribution to the bipartisan infrastructure law and the IRA has been significant. It's very, very important that a group like ZETA was created to represent the EV supply chain and to show the diverse coalition of companies and industries that are really invested in this transition. This mission that ZETA is engaged in goes towards economic development, building EV factories in communities that have traditionally built gas vehicles for decades. When it comes to infrastructure, communities across the country are benefiting from investment in charging infrastructure, that there are job opportunities created, and increasingly trying to make sure that we're doing everything we can here in the United States to support that transition. Our message really has been, we want everybody to feel like they have a stake in this and that they're bought in and that they understand that they and their communities are going to benefit from this in a range of ways, including climate, but beyond that as well.